So wait for it. And we're live. Sam and John doing a local support sort of pairing slash DevOps and this and the other. Yeah, John, what's top on your agenda then?
Well, I haven't been particularly productive over the last few days, but when I have been, it's been for making this little macro for RSpec
Oh yeah.
to do a bunch of routes at once.
Hmm.
And like I sort of mentioned in our earlier conversation, the thing that I felt that was blocking me is my inability to choose the right level of abstraction when
Right.
uh, doing this whole thing.
Hmm.
Um, because yeah, the tricky part is I have to do a bunch of setup, and then once I'm in the it block, I need to do more setup.
And this is, I mean, we're in the context here. This is all page controller specific, or your.
Actually, I was doing it for the organization controller.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is organization controller refactoring that you're focused on.
Well, I haven't actually done any refactoring. It's more like I'm building the tool to be able to
Do
do all
some.
these.
Well, is this providing request specs for organization controller that don't yet exist?
Yeah.
Right, and potentially pulling some things out of the Cucumber features.
Right.
Right, interesting. Yeah,
Uh,
I guess I mean in some ways, do you want to show me particular Cucumber featured ones that you're thinking are the targets for this?
sure.
Um, in the background, git commit. I need to work out what's happening with Ninefold. So this is like adding name to spec description. Adding, it's very difficult to see your screen with the black background. I don't know if you are in a position to change the color scheme.
Yep.
I hate to move you away from the.
I don't know which color scheme you prefer,
I
but we
think I
got
think the
plenty to
white
choose
background
from.
is just easier to read. I think with that font size, yeah.
So this was
Oh, donation info feature, yeah.
one of a few that talked about going for integration tests. Um,
Mm-mm. Yeah, because that's just checking that the update works. So it's right. No, fair enough. Okay.
in your experience with auto graders and using Cucumber to kick off command line stuff, I was almost tempted to have Cucumber steps that kick off little RSpec suites. Um, my only worry is that it would have to load a separate Rails environment, which
Yeah,
would
I,
take.
I don't see any particular reason to do that. I mean, I think the thing that we've got here is
Mhm.
that, like, if we look at the main, this like single scenario, um, we've got here, given I sign in and then I visit the edit page and I edit the donation URL and I update it, then it should be. And we've also got, you see on line 22, line 21, 22, is like there's wanting to move it to a more declarative description.
Right.
The I think we've got, yeah. So this thing about the furtively editing. This is a check that right that other people can't edit those things. Yeah, if you do git blame, who put that to do refactor this into an integration test?
Okay, yeah.
You can turn on git attribution from RubyMine for the file.
Oh, where do I do this?
If you can right click on the name of the file
Okay.
in RubyMine,
Up
there's
at
like
the top.
there's git. You've opened the file menu, or just maybe there's a little lag there. But yeah, there's like a git option about 2/3 of the way down, and
Mhm.
git should have there's one of the options. Does it say attribution anywhere in there? Or
Uh,
annotate, sorry, annotate, third one down. Annotate.
gotcha. MTC 2013. Yeah.
Mm. So that sounds like, mm, to be honest, there, I don't know that I would say that it should necessarily be fully well. I mean, I guess it's an interesting question there about the expression of the business logic. We've got the business logic here, as we might look at it on line 22, 23, and 24, that says, given that I'm signed in as the charity admin for this friendly, I should be able to edit this. You could argue that the business logic, it's reasonable to have a scenario saying that given I'm signed in as a different charity, then I can't edit it, is a reasonable thing to be describing at the top level.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know that I would. I mean, I can see an argument in both directions.
Yeah.
It's certainly we would want, specs at the lower level as we got for the pages controller spec that's going to, check that do a more lightweight check of who has permissions in order to do this.
Right. Have you ever seen those, like when you're signing up for a service and they're asking you like what level of account you want, and then they show you a table where you have like the basic account and it's got check marks that go halfway down, then you got like advanced and it goes 3/4 of the way down, then you got like premium, it goes all the way down. I feel like we sort of have that logic with a lot of our controllers, where we have the non-logged in user, the logged in but not associated, logged in and associated, and then
Right.
site admin.
Mm-hmm.
If and this is something I'm not sure about, if request specs can blow through all four of those categories with all 7 or 8 of the actions in 10 seconds, I would say let's set that up for all our controllers. If we can do all of them in 10 seconds per controller. Because Cucumber is just not going to approach that speed. And then I'd be interested in possibly adding some Gherkin syntax on top of it, maybe with Turnip, just so that it's super clear, that it's not just a bunch of sweeps with a bunch of weird things happening in them, but it's actually like...
Yeah, I think it depends on what I mean, as long as the business logic is kind of clear in the Cucumber thing, I don't know that we necessarily need to add... I mean, I think the argument here would say, if we've got, the scenario, like as would be on lines 22, 23, 24, given I am signed as the charity admin for Friendly and I can do this update, it sort of follows, right, that we're specifically saying that this, this organization admin, as we should maybe call it, can edit, implies that, by de facto, if other people would be able to edit, we would explicitly state that they could edit it. Do you know what I mean? And so, go on.
I just lost the last bit. If other people can edit what?
Oh, in terms of like how much of the business logic do we need to specify in this file, right?
Right.
I mean, you could be saying, for example, like given I'm signed as a charity admin for Friendly, you could then say, right, and other charity admins of different organizations can't do it, and the admin can't do it, and the individual user can't do it, and so on. Do you know what I mean? Like, I guess it seems sensible to want to not burden the scenarios with descriptions of things that sort of
right
are implied. So, like, if we only state the positive ones rather than stating the positive ones and the negative ones in the Cucumber, then that saves us the effort. I guess that the issue it would seem to me then, if we were consistent with that, we wouldn't need to have business logic somewhere else. For example, I mean, we could still have the request specs that were checking all of the the negative instances, right? But we wouldn't need to worry about that request spec descriptions being in a particular in Gherkin format. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that might not be necessary.
I mean, I note that I believe the site admin can, in fact, edit the donation URL. And so if that's something we're actually relying upon, then that should be part of, if not this feature, then another one. Maybe we have that somewhere. It would be specified somewhere else. But
Right. Yeah.
But so doing for this, it seems like, I would say, rather than trying to build the framework that would allow you to refactor the specs and then do it more efficiently, is maybe you feel you've done this already, but do we have an existing request spec or whatever that does the necessary in this regard? Like if on line 3940 it's saying, this is going to be at an integration test level, do you have kind of an integration test for that in one of the request specs already?
We have a few written for like the volunteer ops.
Right, but this is specifically for organizations. I mean, I would be tempted to avoid prematurely refactoring. In as much as it sounds like you're kind of like looking at these different bits and pieces and kind of like, we could do this and we could grab all these bits out of there and whatever. I would say, like, at least if we're starting from that feature, is I would write an organization request spec and do it reasonably long form, and then do the refactoring from there, rather than trying to anticipate the refactoring in advance, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I agree. If this was my job and you were my project manager, I would be like, okay, let's go do that. But because this is open source and I'm just trying to develop my skills as object-oriented, I've sort of gotten myself off on this side quest of
well, I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm just saying that I think that you might find that side quest, or like I think that what you were describing is you're kind of running into issues on that side quest of kind of like question marks about the level of abstraction and so on, that maybe is getting you a little bit stuck. And what I'm saying is that something that might help you get unstuck is writing out what the organization spec would look like without the refactoring in place, in order to help you drive how that should look. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least I kind of would almost feel I would almost need to see that spec or write that spec myself in order to kind of understand better what you're doing with the kind of the refactoring, or what's trying to be achieved there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's this general thing of, there's so many different ways to do things, and a lot of the times it comes down to what actually is the ultimate goal. And I think trying to always step back up to the higher level and see what the ultimate goal is, and then use that to drive the lower level decision is helpful. But anyway.
Yeah. No, I agree. Have you ever seen shared examples for in any of that other RSpec?
I think I have, although not recently enough to really say sensible things about it. But so what shared examples there is it's basically creating a series of tests that will be shared across multiple specs.
Yeah, and then you can invoke it down below, like on line 42, and say...
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure.
And basically, before even I came across it, I hand-rolled my own version of this. And then I realized something already existed for it. But
right.
Still, there is required a extra bit of functionality if I want to dig stuff out of the Rails routes and throw it together with a certain instance.
I was surprised. Yeah, I mean, there's sort of. I was surprised that you were having to do things like sort of matchings to get. I would have thought that you could grab, for example, all of the routes associated with a particular controller without having to do an odd matching on strings. Do you know what I mean?
Matching on strings.
You seem to be saying, like, in order to get all of the, I don't know, page controller routes, you were doing like a downcasing the page controller thing, and then.
Well, I mean, I was having you pass in organizations controller, like the actual class. Then I would turn that into a string, chomp off controller, and downcase the word organizations. Because in the listing of Rails routes, I can sort of search by the controller name.
Right. That seemed kind of a little. It seemed like there should be a simpler way to do that, if you know what I mean. It looks like there's, at least at the rake routes level, there's a way to specify getting all of the routes for a particular controller.
Oh, is there? I would be interested in seeing that. You have a way on the command line when you. Is there like an argument in rake routes to?
Yeah. See the look at the group chat that I just pasted in.
Rake routes controller. This controller name. I'll have to look at how that works under the hood to see if it's any different.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Stable.
And there's are you using I mean, there's like this. There's like rails.application.routes, but is that what you're using already to kind of get?
Yep.
A list of the different things.
Yeah, it's rails.application.routes.routes, actually.
Right.
Rails ties lib rails tasks.
So if you're
Okay, I found the source code for rake routes, or at least the bit of the beginning of it. I'll paste that in the chat. Oh, interesting.
So what are they doing? It's getting all the routes.
Look at this route inspector thing. Maybe I should play with that.
Oh, okay.
I need to pull this up in RubyMon so I can jump around more liberally.
Oh, it says that, on API docs, this class is just used for displaying route information when someone executes rake routes. People should not use this class. No, we've got good stuff here. You can't have it. There's a blog post here on programmatically grabbing the stuff, but I think it was just using the inspector.
Perfect.
Anyway, as I say, I think having the long form of the code in at least one spec, so that even just showing what your refactoring replaces could be handy in helping you drive drive this. I've so have I now? Have I done? Have I finished? I've been upgrading to the latest version of Ruby on OS X, although so bundle exec rake spec, partly to try and chase down this Travis error. But at least bundle is installed has worked with that. I feel like what I should sensibly be doing is I must get this vagrant thing sorted out. Risa. Risa's saying all the Ninefold apps should be alright now. Let's have a look. Staging. Okay.
So, are you going to be incommunicado for a few months this summer?
Well, I'll be going to Japan for 6 weeks or so, 5-6 weeks, end of July, August. But I'll be on. I'll be on Skype. I'm not sure which, if any, scrums I'll be running, but probably the I might be. I mean, in some ways, what might be fun is if I'm running the Pacific scrum rather than the Euro scrum. But but yeah, so I mean, my HPU classes are winding down, but I've just made an agreement with Makers to do some teaching for them through May, June, and July. So I'm going to be doing more pairing, but there's going to be some focus on the Makers curriculum. But I think that's something I can share with people. I'm hoping to do more. And also, Makers is keen for me to try and integrate Azure Ventures more into what Makers does. So
right.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see how that works. Risa is talking to me in chat about. I think we used the GUI last time. We went through it. I had to open a port on the DB or something. How's your plans for your move going?
We found a place.
Cool.
That is going to cost an arm and a leg. But yep, that's taken care of. I've been having some phone interviews. No luck yet. I sometimes feel like these interview questions are hard. Like, what do you like about Ruby? It's like, come on. So I've been reading all these blogs and stuff so I can talk intelligently about metaprogramming and stuff like that.
Sure. You showed me that once already, so I feel bad asking you to do it again. Is there a guide page somewhere. See, this is the thing is we've got, I'm sure we've got a video from the other week of Risa showing me the process of going through this thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well.
They're ready for my.
Okay, so at least on my system here,
Okay.
the develop branch of local support is working with the new Ruby version. Which means I think it's pushing me again to say I just must get the data. On the subject of job interviews. I think this is one of the interesting kind of conflicts. Is that, like, for example, in Makers Academy, we want to teach the students, the best coding skills possible, and with real world projects and things, and make them into real developers. But then there's also, training for technical interviews, and so there's a certain sorts of questions that you get asked in technical interviews and technical tests and so on, which are often going to be somewhat abstract. And so, it's a funny old world.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll do fine. I was hoping to get a job before I get there, but my main problem is that I've got competition walking through the door to interview that very afternoon when I won't be there for a month and a half, and I'm 1,000 miles away.
Right.
So I get to like second round phone interview, but that's about it.
I think it's worth just keeping on. I think often it's good to be in that process and keep. Do you know what I mean? It can be kind of draining, but it's good to be repeating that cycle over and over again. So I'm kind of, I guess I think I'm being beaten up by my own multitasking. So, okay, at least this is, we've got a help file for importing a Postgres dump file. Okay, let me put that in my task on that we need to do that, because staging needs to come up before I could do that. Okay, and I've got my okay. Not quite that one. I don't know. What's this? Importing a Postgres file. It looks like kind of the right thing. How to export your database from Heroku. Let's at least put that in there. This is probably the article. For importing data. Are you still following the Nant Tetris course?
I'm not. I probably shouldn't have ever switched to using Golang because that just dragged me down too much.
Yeah, it's difficult to try and do too many new things. I'm feeling bad about having done Ruby in as much as I think it would have, although some of my students have enjoyed that, and it's been quite good for my students who are also studying Ruby. I think for the students who are in new Java, it's been kind of like too out there, and I haven't been able to. I did kind of like a couple of versions in Java for them.
Right.
I mean, it's been better for me. In some ways, it's been better for me to do it in Ruby because it crosses over with more on things that I'm doing, but I think I'm going to benefit more from Java.
Yeah. Although I really enjoyed the part I did, and I want to possibly pick it back up when it comes around again in the fall.
Right.
Because now I'll have a good jump on it for the first 6 chapters or whatever.
Right. Okay. post in our okay, so what the problem here is on staging. That's good. Still thinks it's loading the staging. It's still. I guess you haven't been looking at the Vagrant. Also, and now that chat thing appears. Maybe it's time dependent. But so you haven't been looking at Vagrant at all?
No.
No. Okay, I'm just going to step away and then I'll come back. Oh, I really must look at Vagrant.
I looked at last night, but I knew I got this bad habit of having white courses, like I'm interested in all the time.
I mean, there's so many.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want to ask, do you happen to know anyone that works with Google in terms of their tools? Why? Yeah. Well, why? Yeah. Mine.
But no, actually, just because we finally finished the Android version of the app, I have some fancy 3D game that it's like 6 months making it compliant with as many Android devices as possible. It'd be nice to have an email to someone like, oh hey, we bothered to like do this, check it out.
Why don't you just go Google Play Store Evangelist?
That's just fine, yeah.
Just on the right side.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
That's it. No, of course. I know you're right. It's on top of my head.
Yeah, sure. But yeah,
What? Yeah, I don't know. I think.
they never leave because they want like everything.
Yeah, it's
once you work there, you're gonna have
Yeah, with the real world.
Yeah.
Because, you know you have shops on the Google campus. You don't have to pay.
It's really cool cafeteria.
Yeah, the process is very nice. Exactly, there's massage, there's like everything you need.
I suppose what I was thinking was it must be a UK.
Let's cross the start and they started to break the window.
Even if we couldn't play, it must be a UK.
But they're doing a few jobs.
Yeah, well, there you go. But they have probably
I mean, there is
there's
a
a campus, right?
Yeah,
There's someone that wants to be a campus.
That's not the thing. Campus is not the Google office.
Yeah.
It's very similar. Oh, that's nice. Will you get a t-shirt? Oh, they gave it at the hackathon. That's a good t-shirt. This one's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll try that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good. I'm trying to find a guy who can use it. I managed to meet by the wrong PlayStation mobile.
PlayStation Mobile.
It's all like everything.
Yeah, great.
But it's like the PSP stuff.
Yeah, games is huge.
So they were about.
Yeah.
It's fun if you want to go and make like a database for banks, like when they get the site, you can sign up and then it's going to be social networks.
Yeah.
Oh, design.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
Yeah, Photoshop.
Photoshop,
Yeah.
I know. I think we're working on the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be big. Bigger. We're gonna like to come to
Yeah, so you just type Bagel off, and it brings up the Bagel essay. It's not your essay means like a easy to cross, but it's just local. So then, is what things you do. Well, that's what I've got to get to make work. So there's a lot of other projects are not doing. So it's in principle, it would be a better solution to sort of make sure that it's scripted in the right way. Oh yeah, we've got like great.
Rebranded himself.
You know,
It used to use everything for a day.
And now is what Angel and NAD.
Yes, it used to be. Summer it was by companies and invest in entrepreneurs.
yes, I know.
And the job was certainly different. It was I think it was a white rose to invest in. So it's interesting. He's rebranding himself towards an angel.
Oh, because he has 2% investment.
No, he's got exactly.
Yeah?
Yes, I think he's not listing everything. Sometimes he puts a little money on SA experts. Not reading it, but just participating. But I'm pretty sure it's an biggest. And he said that when we are going to raise, he'll probably not maximum like make them to. Okay, so do you know Spence?
No.
I'll try to get you through.
What do am I an network between him and him? Am I a connection?
Hey John, you still there? John AFK as well, or muted.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey. Bon, 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 bon.
just playing with the functionality in this route inspector. It's almost identical to the stuff I've been doing. In fact, I'll probably just tweak it slightly.
Have they got the same? Are they using the same matching strategy as you?
Some differences that I wanted to explore, but overall, yeah.
Right. Okay. So, for this vagrant thing, right, what I must do is look at my list of enormous number of vagrant boxes, and right, so I am running a local support vagrant instance that I was in the middle of trying to fix, wasn't I? Okay, so that was me. That's local support development. Some mechanism for organizing all of my bash prompts would be nice. Let's start closing some of them. I've sort of got almost to the point of coursework development. You know, I'm often trying to maintain things that I think I'm going to come back to. I think I'm getting to the point where I just have to hack and slash, and I think we just need a process of gradually killing everything. Let's have this. Okay, and what's this one? I think that's just get rid of that. So somehow that's running. Okay. Series of broken pipe things from here, there, and everywhere. Auto grader, vagrant. Let's just get rid of that for a minute. Okay, there's only 2 left, I think. So if vagrant is running, what I have got. Look at the history. Here we go. So this is the thing. So let me, if I show you what I've got on my develop.
You just stepped on my head and walked over me.
Vagrant file.
Yeah, it was stepping stones and glasses.
That's weird. Oh no, maybe it's not so weird. Okay. So this is me trying to get the vagrant install to work, and what I'm trying to do now is issue this command that will automatically edit the Postgrave file to set the configuration up correctly.
Are you using Chef, or are you doing something with sed to?
No, here just with it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Is that the kind of thing that Chef helps us manage? Is it?
I don't know, honestly. I know that if you were to do it programmatically with scripting, isn't it sed that you would reach for?
Yes, that's what I'm doing. That's what I've got here.
I see.
It's sed. So we actually Ben, who came along to the pairing session a couple of weeks ago, suggested that, and I'm using his. So we've got this local all Postgres peer thing. See, this is the thing. What I'm trying to do here that doesn't seem to be working is add map equals basic to local all Postgres peer right. So this is the sed operation that we've been playing with. But so, okay, that looks like that worked. Okay.
Nice.
But so the thing we're supposed to have then this -I that's not doing what I thought. Because it... no, it does seem to have... See, I thought the -I was needed in order to actually do the overwriting operation.
Mm.
But okay, so that seems to be adding it. So maybe the -e will do the swap by itself. Okay, so that seems like... maybe I was confused there about... let's just do man said. Add the script. Yeah, what was -I supposed to do? I don't see any... Yeah, so maybe this version of Ubuntu hasn't got this -I operation. I think that was just a guess by... oh no, -I, edit files in place. Maybe it just doesn't need the... anyway, so if I do... so... yeah. Okay. So -e like this. Yeah, right. And then if I do -I, okay. Yeah, okay. So that seems right. That seems to be the command. Seems to be -I -e. Okay, so then we need to add this thing onto the end of permission denies. I'm doing sudo there. Why is that not working? We've got some issue here. Sudo cat. Right. Okay, so we need... that still doesn't work. Okay. Okay. So that seems like an alternative would be... I feel like what I want now is a systems administration MOOC. You know? Because it seems like, you know, that's the key to getting a lot of stuff done. Control-A, echo. Okay, so then the goal of this is that if we can get all of this right, if we can get all, so, okay, so that command worked. If we can get all of this set up correctly, then you just do like 5 commands and you have a working local support box.
Yeah.
So then we restart the server. There's got this whole issue with I don't know if we'll see if we had to restart the data server. I'll skip over this setting up templates and things. We'll do those 2. Maybe this one was not needed. The problem with it is that the process of testing it is very time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if this gets me to here and then come up, the question is now, will the... Okay, ls. Okay, cd... Okay. So it should be here, cd local support, and then bundle install. Okay. How are you doing on your side? Are you still playing around with that Rails inspector?
Yeah. Yeah. The most difficult thing for me was adding in the extra stuff, like for instance on create an update, how the params hash has to have extra information. And there seems to be something here like scaffolded for that I might plug into.
Cool. Okay, we have staging up on Ninefold now. So I guess in the background I could be doing another import operation there. Wow. So yeah, the Vagrant thing is a bit like a Travis build, but it's like not only does it install the gems, but it has to like create the instance of Ubuntu in the first instance and then install like Ruby. Which makes me think longingly of Node.js. Okay, so then undo.
Node.js because it's faster to set up?
Yeah, I mean, that was how the startup engineering course was run last summer. And, you know, just getting set up with Node.js, it's like, boom, like, oh my goodness, under 30 seconds.
Right.
Oh, looks like I was able to do a series of things that my bundle would create. Is it then migrate? Is that, yeah, migrate. That's quite pleasing. It looks like I was able to, but by setting, I think I was able, by setting the language. So this is like all this stuff that people get like impaled upon in the wiki for setting stuff up, like the Postgre install or what have you. All of this would just be like handled, and they could just go, oh look, it's just, oh that's so beautiful. Let's just run the tests. So of course, the proof of the pudding will now be that I'll blow away this box and I'll recreate it and actually run it actively from the script. I guess I did undo install there once already. It just makes so much sense to be able to have complete control of the environment that everybody's working on. So,
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so because now I'm looking for So, okay, so that's now a production server on. So we're kind of, we're it's ironic because I think just over Christmas it was like, oh yes, we're almost ready to go kind of live, so to speak, and it's taken another 4 or 5 months to get to the point where we have a secure login and Rachel's in a position to like send out the app to a large number of people.
We probably need to fix up that bug in how we're doing invites. How if an invite gets created where the email gets changed, like downcased or something like that, it's not able to match up. I mean, the simplest solution I think would be just when the invite is created to join the user to the organization. So it can be easily looked up and referenced after the fact, because the way we're doing it now is that we're just trying to match on emails. But of course, that's assuming that the email didn't get changed in the process of.
I thought we'd said something like that. We should be like running a batch job on all the emails to make sure that they're all just they're all downcased, and we should get adding a validation to the. I mean, because at the end of the day, we have to match on the email, right?
We wouldn't have to if we just joined them.
Oh, I see. If we weren't relying upon that post commit hook or whatever, it's not called commit. What is it? I've forgotten. That what do we call it? Post. It's we've got some kind of after save filter or something, haven't we? After save. Hook that says right. We should. Is it?
I mean, maybe both would be a good approach.
Yeah.
For the sake of the invite process, it's a good idea to join them, because like, why wouldn't we?
So they can just be set as if the invite process is right, they can just be set as the organization ID can be set on their profile, and that's it.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that would avoid firing the after save hook when they actually logged in.
Yep.
Wouldn't try and re-add them, or if it did, it wouldn't be a big deal. Okay. Yeah. Well, that would be nice if you could put a pull request in for that.
Sure.
Click on the link to the primary database server. Okay. Click on network. Oh, look at that. That's the specs are all passing on the Vagrant box. Oh, this is the other thing, of course, that what I also need to do for this is I need to upgrade to the latest version of VirtualBox and the latest version of Vagrant. Of course, that makes you worry that VirtualBox will stop being able to see all of the older instances, which could cause me problems. But I don't know. Paul seems to have. There seems to be some new version of the Ubuntu boxes for Vagrant that's he's moved up to. That's not working, but I wonder if I should go and just upgrade Vagrant rather than VirtualBox in the first instance. Click on network. Do I have a file? Network. So I have to add. Let's bring this down here. We do it at the same time. So, staging server 5432 5432.
Did you just say your password?
No, this is the port number for the firewall in Ninefold. So that I guess I've also got to I've got to dump the latest code from Heroku. So I need to remember how to do that. DevOps. There you go. This is the command to get that. Okay. Well, actually, the Cucumber tests have all passed there on the Vagrant instance, which is very pleasing. We'll develop there. What did I just do there? Oh, okay. I don't know what I wanted to do. I accidentally. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. At least I've got the latest. So the latest dump is available there. God, they could have a nice little thing for this thing. Actually, the history grep PG restore one. No, what I just did there. Click on apps, click on database. I will need the host IP. Host IP. Database name. Staging. Database. Okay. So the command I need is pg restore -u. I don't know what app is supposed to be. Oh, it is user app. Okay. -user app -h host ID -p 5432 -c -d database name. Is that? It's just called logs. Support dump file. Here's dump. I don't know what the password's be. I don't know what this password is. Okay. Right.
You know, it's completely off topic.
Go on.
If you want to get some practice on Go before you meet your wife's uncle, I think you said before,
Oh, yeah.
We'll play some games.
Cool. Or maybe write some computer programs to play some games.
That's the interesting thing about Go. It is, as of yet, programmable.
I was hearing. That's been the truth for a long time. I hear the programs are getting better.
I would like, yeah.
There's been, I think,
when that happens.
Developments, yeah, some very recent developments. It's kind of like the because it's more complex than chess. But I think there was some. I was reading about some developments recently. But yes, I think it's an active area of research.
Yeah. Yeah, and probably because you have a background in deep learning, it's of interest to you, because it's the thing about Go is it requires just the reason humans are good at it is because our brains are very good at pattern matching in the abstract.
Right.
But computers are getting to that point too. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it looks like we've got a staging server, which is up with some data. I guess. So the interesting thing here actually would be to take the stuff that's currently on develop and move it into git merge develop git push origin staging and see if the staging server picks that up. So I think it, so ask reset. So I guess I'm also supposed to now remove the database. I've got to close the port now. Network. I think it's interesting. Like, the first time we did this, Lisa showed me, and she was offering to sort of show me again, and I was sort of like almost specifically, one, I didn't want to, bother her with that, but two, I think I kind of needed to stumble through it on my own in order to increase the chances of me remembering it in the future. Okay. Okay. Well, that code hasn't. How long does that usually take? Okay, and so it seems like we've got a complete, on the local support side, I've got a complete solution. I guess what I should sensibly be doing here is, okay, no, I think, assuming that kind of comment works, let's look at the Vagrant file. Okay, Vagrant Ubuntu installed.sh.
I'll be right back.
Okay, we could exit out of there. We can do Vagrant destroy. Yes, and then we could do history grep Vagrant. So we can do Vagrant init precise 32. Right. I'll just do Vagrant up now then. Which version of Vagrant am I on? Question of upgrading to latest version of Vagrant. Upgrading Vagrant, upgrading from upgrading. Download the new package. So installation downloads page. Mac OS. It's 1.5.4. Okay. Right. So this is in the long period here of now will this start trying to, this is, I'm not sure if this is still doing, I guess this is still doing Ubuntu configure. Now it's going into RVM. So this is kind of like, John, are you back? I don't know if I'm just on myself here. There's this source operation that RVM often seems to need. Right, which we have done there in an automated fashion. So it's, I think then this is installing Ruby. God, there's enough people who want it. I just emailed out 12 copies of the textbook. God, I've just had another. I guess there's a lot of there's a lot of people. I guess there's people. There's a lot of professors who are taking the MOOC and who want copies of the textbook to work through the MOOC. Yeah, that makes sense. Good grief. Ooh. Huh? Okay. So restarted Postgre, installed some other bits and pieces, unpacked
And I'm
that.
back.
Hey, yeah, so I'm just actually, it didn't take so long this time, although we're getting a series of bundle command not found. But so if I now do vagrant SSH, cd local support, bundle install. So I guess what I want to do, can I just do Rails S there? No. So I think the bundle install failed. I mean, that's not unreasonable to ask them to do bundle install, but I wonder why that.
I see you're setting them up with RVM and everything. One of the things when you set it up is you still need to issue a few commands to like when you installed.
We have got that. There's this source thing that you have to do. Usually, that kind of works, but I think maybe it needs to like re-log in. I mean, it's. But if this would work from. I don't know if the bundle install could be put later. Put it up here. It may also, I guess if it fails on that, it will fail on other things. I guess we should have that last. Let's see. See there, I'm tempted to just vagrant destroy and but so potentially people will just check out and they'd be here. I should get check out. Oh, okay, yeah, and git no, so I want vagrant up. So people would just type vagrant up and then it would build an Ubuntu box and then run the script on it. Yeah, why would bundle install not be on the path there? It's interesting because when it finishes up, it's just about, does the RVM usually make bundle available, or do I need to, do we have something like running bundle in Vagrant install scripts? It's a bit specific, isn't it? RVM problems bundle install on the Vagrant Chef server. Aha. Yeah, so I guess Chef is going to be, it's like for managing this, the scripts. I see. I think I start to understand what Chef and Puppet are doing. Is that really the Chef?
What is it called in a route where you have like organization / colon ID? What is that colon ID thing called?
So you have the action and the controller and the ID? I mean...
No, like in the route, how it's got those matchers?
Yeah,
is
the matchers.
Matcher the right word for it, or what's the word for it?
I couldn't think of immediately of things other than ID.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Hmm. 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 Okay, in the background there, I guess it's installing Postgre. So I guess, but that's interesting that people would use a thing like Chef over using just a bash script. I guess the Chef, because you would have thought that you could lock the bash script. Okay. I wonder if anybody else has found.
There you go. No, I don't know. For the 3 phones. Oh, wow.
Is this bundle configuration? No, it's not quite there. Oh, have they got like a user called Vagrant Shell? Shell provisioning. Is that what we're doing? Provisioning names. There you go. Okay. It would be nice to have like a vagrant. Oh, it looks like you could have a remote pod. So we've got something along the lines of shell provisioner bundle. Not found. Well, I guess we could do an explicit gem install bundle or something. Is bundle a gem? Bundler?
It is, yeah, so you could do gem install bundle. That's odd though, because RVM has that in there by default.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's maybe that it's doing that source thing, but it hasn't kind of run the login shell again or something. I don't know.
True.
There's some sort of, like I think it's clearly got bundle installed there.
Yeah, that's true. Normally, the first time I install RVM, I do have to like close my terminal and reopen it.
I mean, the interesting question there now is if we go through a bundle install. I mean, if this works by requiring people to run bundle install when they first start up is not. I think that's it's like 95% of the thing. What we particularly don't want them is that. I mean, if you think about people who are coming off the 169 course, right? They've dealt with bundle, right?
Yeah.
What we don't want them to have to do is kind of get all mucked up trying to deal with I forget what it's called now. Postgrade, things, and the series of errors that you encounter trying to do this, that, and the other. Something about ensuring bundle is executable after what's it called? RVM install. This is like vagrant shell provisioner. Login. Basic uses of provisioners. And provisioners. I guess we might be able to like reload it. I feel like I should also be upgrading to the latest version of Vagrant. What's happened here? File permission error. You don't have right permissions for the user locally. Does it have to be sudo bundle install? That's kind of odd. I wonder if that's not ideal, is it? I wonder if the process of doing this the background is like, who am I? It's Vagrant. I wonder if the install shell runs as a different runs as a different user.
Mm-hmm.
See, it says here you don't have write permissions for this RVM, so it's like RVM's installing there for some user. Oh, but maybe it's running as sudo. Actually, I tell you what we probably want is we probably want it running not as we probably want it running as Vagrant rather than as sudo. Okay, so I think it's installed everything under sudo. I see. So that sort of implies. Can we do privileged false here? Because we've got the sudo thing specified. Kill that. I mean, we did have at one point. We had Mohammed did a pull request on the was it a pull request? So it would have been on Tansaku local support, and was it a pull request? Was it just his branch? The forks. Which one was Mohammed? No, I don't remember. I remember this was Ingram.
Yeah.
Ah, that was him.
It's just a social version of the.
Because I know we were going through this. Did he did like a shell script maybe? There you go. Look at that.
Emma. Go to the core. Yeah. So she's.
Oh, there you go. GitHub mode. That was him.
That's Emma. They definitely know what's her name? Sandra Perez.
No, he may have deleted his repo.
Yeah, connected to Emma.
Oh, I think this was. Oh, this was.
Sharon.
Right. He did like a script here.
They both go founder. Yeah.
He got here. So okay, this is provisioning with Chef.
Quite clear that way.
Starts to make sense now. See, it sorts out RVM for us and so on.
Just, is there...
Hmm.
I mean, we're already working with before.
I wonder if we should be using Chef.
Okay, so Chef is communication.
Hmm. What do you think? Should we be playing with Chef, maybe?
Yeah, but no.
No.
There's no advantage
Second?
to having those people on the board. Because we work with
Paul was playing with Chef, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was talking about doing that.
partners, so
Yeah, the
what can she
and it looks like if I'm not, it's not going to be able to manage these.
more Yeah, she could, but yeah, I don't know. Then I'd rather have somebody like Di Fernando than he's on the board of well, he's a founder as well. They're all founders there, but he's invested in City Mapper. He's working on everything. It's very complicated. No?
I wonder if we can do sudo get install bundle.
Yeah.
Or bundler.
I don't
But
know.
we kind of want to be doing it with the RVM.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Because you want to have somebody who's in the tech space, right? In the education space.
Oh, I do.
Bundler. I wonder if we can. Yeah, that seems unfortunate if the provisioning script runs as a kind of a fundamentally different. Let's say, who am I here?
So that's why I think that these are not the right people, because they're about as old as we are, and they've got as much experience as we are. So I don't think we're going to learn. I'd rather you look into these guys, the guys like Sense. So
Should have put like
they've
an
just
echo.
trained 100
You can see how time consuming this is to.
and it's adaptive learning.
You mean that they are
I guess I should be
I
looking
mean, what I'm
at
saying is that I'd rather we have somebody, because they've just raised
Get
100
Chef.
million, so they definitely know how to raise money.
I don't need the
They
Chef
know
server.
it's adaptive learning.
What's
It might
the
be
Chef
interesting.
solo?
So this for me is more interesting because not only it's more interesting
Ah,
in
okay.
regards to what we could be doing in the future, but also because of where they are in the growth of the company.
Okay,
Because Freeform
Chef
is as
Solo.
small as we are, and then
I wonder if this is the one that Paul is
not much
using.
more than we have. I mean, the offices are tiny. They've got a tiny 10 people. I think 10 people work for Freeform, right?
So
Freeform was raised 100 million.
No.
God's sake, Jesus.
No,
I don't
that's
think Freeform was even 10.
Even
Last time I
so.
went around there was like 6 people.
Yeah, exactly. We're double the size already. I mean, they're gonna grow internationally, so did they grow it? But I mean, I like what they do, no question. But
I should have done a clear here to make sure I wasn't
that's what I
confused.
think as well.
How are things going on your side?
Any information or help we want.
Good. I'm just playing with the API. Looking at my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, ignore all this other stuff right here. if this was the API, where you say,
Yeah.
give me the routes for this controller,
Hmm.
and then the only extra work you have to do is for create an update say, well, because the controller actually uses something other than ID in the params hash, I'm going to say do something like this in those
Yeah.
cases. Routes.only create an update. There's also another one for accept, you know, if you want to go into
Okay.
other
Yeah. So
directions.
you can grab. Oh, that looks nice. Yeah. That looks good. Hmm. Hmm. Just recapping on my side. So I've got a route now for deploying the latest data to 9. I guess the final thing there would be if I look at 123reg.co.uk. Oh my goodness! Check that out. Okay. Looks like Von Direction Harrow's hosting service is having some internal server errors. Reload's getting me back to the thing, but that's happened twice. Goodness me. But so, yeah, I'd have to look over to the step to go to move to ninefold. How is this? Right. So at the moment we've got www pointing to this location. I guess, in principle, it would be as simple as deploying the production data to the production server and then adding the domain. So here it would be www.harrowcm.org.uk. Oops. Right. Yeah, so I think in principle we could be switching over. Just need to make sure that I'm really ready. I guess we also, that was the other thing, was seeing, has staging picked up on the deploy of the latest code? And the answer is no. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
hope I will be. Where's the pitch?
Don't want to have to force the redeploy.
Which is next to transcript stage. Okay.
I've
got an interview starting at 7.
Okay.
So I will. I'll definitely come if I can.
Right. I guess the actual time that it takes for the Vagrant install to go through is partly a function of how quickly it can download different Ubuntu bits and pieces. haven't seen any update on NF. I wonder if the yeah, and the Travis builds, I guess, are still failed. And I don't understand why. Complaining about this debugger issue.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool, yeah. Be interesting to see how they perform.
Really good. He just introduced me. He's the guy who just introduced me to
Yeah. My one thing that I would try would make these solid white.
I think it's get experience with
Otherwise,
running it and showing that.
Yeah, he was at, what's it called again?
Okay, that's
They sold, didn't they?
People learning languages and she goes to experiences.
Oh yeah, he's a really
Travis.
smart guy. And he was really nice. He introduced me to it.
Yeah, I think that makes the logo for
Related to both
makes
and
it more interesting if it wasn't. Okay,
Yeah. So he wanted to discuss with you potentially for him to be on the board. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I wouldn't do that. Yeah.
I think something you want to have right now we're going to build our
Jimmy Cricket, have I gone on stupid? I keep on doing this.
So I said right now we're doing the board of advisors like to get you.
Maybe this instance.
We are.
And we don't understand that.
We do, I think we do, yeah.
Just on the side of it.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure, this just sounds really unprofessional, but she asked me if we wanted a spot.
Okay.
I didn't reply because I was deciding, and then she wrote me being like, here's your login for the Saturday. And actually, like, I was on the fence as to whether we do it or not anyway. Like, I think it is useful for us to be there.
Okay, so I just lost my hand. I think we're doing
No, we're not paying.
Okay.
No, we are. We are. There's £1,000. Hold on, £1,000.
Okay.
Just asking because I've just got an email, last chance to book a featured sale.
Okay. So
To be honest,
RVM
I think we've
is
got
still.
one. If we
Okay,
don't, I'll be a little bit happy about it. But they've sent me all the information, and I've got the, I've logged in and given all that.
Yeah, and she and
stuff.
Camisa.
But if the Travis deploy is not working, I almost, you know, and if we get the auto deploy working on 9-foot, I'm almost going to give up on Travis further up, or at least it suddenly becomes a much lower priority to fix it.
That's soon, Jesus.
Yeah, and I thought we were going to clean the
Well,
office.
like the thing is, I don't even plan ahead. I just know I'm going to be working weekends, and whatever it is, I just find out a few days before that. I'll figure out the way to plan. Busted break things. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put it in there.
God, Mr. Johns has gone, and he's making like some process for like making an install CD for the 169 course, where people would actually burn the VM into a CD, which just seems like absolutely crazy. But I'm looking for a video course where slash okay, yeah, so it seems to me okay. So it looks like it's running as root as it does all the stuff. And I guess like personally I prefer it to run as Vagrant, I think. Because actually this attempt that it was trying to do here to do the root.rvm/scripts.rvm, it's not finding that.
Yeah, probably. Let me get you bucks.
So that seems to imply that it should be run, that we should be running it as, so if we run it as privileged false, and then I could find out these things earlier if I put them at the beginning. And what is installed generally I guess we've got a general question there, which is about installing RVM in Vagrant provisioning file. So all of the, I guess it seems like what people are doing is they're using Chef. RVM integration into Vagrant. Oh, look. Look at this. It looks like there's an RVM Vagrant integration.
Hmm.
with recommended commands. Huh. Hmm. Yeah, I'll hold on to this if that's all right. So,
Oh yes, please. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
okay.
Yeah.
Tell Vagrant to install Ruby. I guess one of the things we don't have at the top of our bash script is something telling us that it is a bash script. And then, okay, look, so that maybe, we'll see if that sorts it out. But so, I mean, that's like dollar the args. Yeah, so that's just stable. And then, okay, so the interesting thing is the way that it has, the way it has it round is it does this source user local and then 1.9.3 there. Yeah, okay. Vagrant destroy again. Yes. Vagrant up. Okay. Okay, in the background then I could be looking to see if staging has picked up. Yes, okay, so that's a much. Okay.
I'm gonna grab some peanut butter toast for breakfast/lunch. I'll be right back.
Alright, yeah, I'll do the same. Let's check a minute. Okay.
Are we, did we update what we call teachers? Or have we not really gotten to that yet? We're still calling them teachers at the moment, aren't we?
De facto, yes. I think the best. I think everyone agreed that coaches makes more sense.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem to stick.
Yeah.
Feel free to call them coaches.
Okay.
Except that they will still continue to call them teachers.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things. When Michelle Cohen first came to Makers Academy a year ago, one of the first things she told us to not to call students, but to call them makers instead, to position them as makers and not as students.
Exactly.
And it made total sense, except that everyone's still full-time students.
Yeah.
And you can't and you don't want to force anyone to.
So I'm just gonna have to pound the drum and get everyone on board with that. That's okay, I can do that. Okay, I'm putting a tweet, I'm changing Alex's blog post. He said I'm one of the teachers, I'm gonna put one of the coaches, that's the thing.
Uh-huh.
You used instructor in his blog.
What did it?
Yeah.
I'll update it.
His blog is amazing.
It's great, isn't it? Really well written. Yeah, this is why there's so much latent value sat in everyone's heads.
Jody, if we had unlimited time,
I know exactly what you're saying, I hear it.
we'd own the world.
Yeah. With an infinite number of monkeys.
You're connected to this guy. How about you know? Tim Jackson.
That's one of those. He invested money into the thing.
Because Will from Loyalty Bay profile. Will knows him and he really thinks he thinks we should really.
You mean investment?
Yes, the investment.
Oh yeah, I remember he had this shitty website. Yeah, he has like probably the worst website I've ever seen.
Who's this?
Come on, it's not the worst.
There's worse, for sure.
It's physically possible.
It's possible to do, I mean, it's quite a shit website.
Ruben, such a bitch.
About it. Hey,
You go, girlfriend.
come on, we have a shit website. You're not gonna tell him.
It's even better when it comes with a French accent. Is shit. Is rubbish.
You can be in touch with Jens first.
Oh yeah. Well, in a couple of weeks.
Is it what?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask how
No, I have no history in that. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Most on the world.
Hey John, you still there?
Oh, my God.
Yep.
Oh, you come back? Yeah, I'm back. I'm just sort of interesting development. So it's good that it does.
Last year.
Vagrant will run its provisioning script as Vagrant if you ask it to.
Okay.
I remember his face.
Okay, I was.
And I think I'm trying to get it to do.
Where I have somebody on
Was that? Did I
Yeah.
finish? We're doing an install there. I'm a bit confused there about what's happened. Everything's kind of gone red. I mean, it's basically it's not able to see bundles, as far as I can tell.
Hmm.
I mean, what's... I think what I'm tempted to do here... Oh, no, I didn't... Alright, let's do it in this window then. Is do Vagrant Destroy again. This is the wait, what? I think this would be, what would be really useful would be to have somebody around who actually understood Vagrant and Chef very well. I mean, I'm gradually extracting more intelligence as I go on, but it feels like a long, slow, and painful process. One feels that it could be done a lot more efficiently. So, at least the logic that I have now is that I've got a mechanism here for running the install script as if it were the Vagrant user. But so if I up a Vagrant box here, I guess before I do this, actually, what I will do is I'll just upgrade to the latest version of Vagrant. Vagrant Destroy. I had let's make sure we're on the latest version of Vagrant. But it just seems like I wish I'd been able to understand this. Although Mohammed was sort of offering some kind of weird version of what I'm trying to do here, but I think if we could have got sorted with this earlier, we could have it's I mean, like, I'm just. On the 169 MOOC, one person in the forum is just saying like, "Oh, I spent 2 days trying to get the VM installed, and I finally done it. Yoo-hoo!" Do you know what I mean? But it's like I think we lose so many potential people from the MOOC and from the open source projects, just for difficult installs. People just give up.
Yeah.
They were on LinkedIn. They were like, "Oh, this guy Jordan Bolton, you work with him. What's he like?" So far, you've been like, "Yeah, I know that guy. He's got a shit website." I'm like, "Yeah, I know this girl. She's insane."
No, in tennis, she's amazing.
Oh, in a good way. Okay.
No. Dude, she's
Like, "Hey, Ruben, how do you work with that guy Jordan?" He's like, "I'm insane."
no.
He's insane if you get the shit person.
Yeah.
Dude, she sits on the board of NASDAQ.
Really? That's a good thing.
Well, I was gonna say,
Don't hold it against her.
no, I'm saying she's great. I'm saying, are we gonna get a girl who's on the board of the NASDAQ? I mean, she's on the board of about 100 companies.
Moment.
Or 40. She's already sold 2 or 3 financial companies. So
Nice.
yeah, she's.
This is exactly the type of non-executive you should employ.
I agree, 100%.
What's our login for Eventbrite? Is it Ruben now?
Okay. What am I doing? I've upgraded my version of Vagrant. I guess before I work on anything, I should always be checking what I'm doing here.
Oh wow.
What's that?
I just learned how to make a custom collection.
Oh yeah?
I subclassed hash, and then in my initialize,
Hi, hey, how you doing?
instead of creating an attribute that's a hash, I just treat the thing self as a hash, and I send it, you know, the key and the value.
Highlight the code that you're talking about?
Well, not really.
So I don't need the commented out stuff anymore. It's on the bottom panel, and I guess I could switch it to white. Is it hard to read right now?
No, it was
So
not too bad. Yeah,
Okay.
but which is the thing?
So
Oh, you've subclassed hash there. Yeah.
and then I used to basically save this hash that I'm creating on line 89 to
Right.
an instance variable called routes, but the problem was I really didn't want it just to be an instance variable. I wanted it to be the class itself. I wanted it to be a hash.
Right.
And then I realized I can, you know, like on line 98, self.send key in the value.
Right.
And then I can write my methods only and accept and all that stuff to be operating on a hash, rather than the disconnect of it operating sometimes on the...
The root inspector here this is now a class that you're creating on the fly, inspired by the root inspector that was in the Rails.
Yeah.
The rake thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. Why would you not reuse the one that's in the Rails, the rake, what have you?
One of the annoyances is, you know how when you run rake routes and you see in parentheses format at the end of every line?
Mm-hmm.
That was coming through. I wanted to kick that out. I just wanted to collect a few different things, really.
Right.
And then I also want to be able to define these custom methods that work for the API
All right.
of how to use it.
Interesting.
If you want to, yeah, sure. Otherwise, if you want to pop up to make them there.
I'm wondering now.
No. Not a
I've upgraded to Vagrant. It's asking.
Perfect. Okay, let's do that.
It's got to copy all of the boxes up into some new sort of something.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay. All right. So that blocks me on that route there.
Perfect. Alrighty. Take care.
Yes. Should I be looking for? Vagrant Chef Rails or something, because it would. This is interesting. Like somebody here, this is they've got a Vagrant Rails project box. README says, having fun installing all that software needed to start a new Rails project? No, then use this VM instead. The Vagrant file here, yeah, basically it's like chef, add a series of recipes.
You have interviews all day. Since I want to use all day every day. We don't have to move on Friday.
But Thursday and Friday are my days off. I got meetings all day tomorrow, but just nothing to do.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I forgot the BBC thing is tomorrow.
Everything's tomorrow. Got 3 interviews. BBC, LinkedIn, Paddy's thing, Noam.
You should have a proposal for us.
Yeah. It's getting crazy.
Hmm.
In 2 weeks, I was speaking to the organizer of TechCrunch this week.
Yeah, I saw that. That's cool. I need to, at some point, stop meeting people and do the stuff I'm promising to do in the meeting.
No, we need a bigger team to deliver on everything.
It's all, it feels like what you want is a bit like the Rails wizard. You could do something that would basically create you a chef
No, same.
thing. This person's using Chef Solo here.
Right, yeah.
Um,
Well, if we become experts at Chef, maybe we can make an app that does that.
yeah,
Robbie's doing the Wi-Fi thing.
because we just what would be cool is if you could just scan the gem file in the repo and just say, right, this is going to be your, this is like a deploy thing for your box.
Yeah, but I agree.
Like Tuesday and Wednesday were specifically set aside as interview days.
Hmm.
I have 3 interviews tomorrow. With people who are like, I really want to do it. There's no interview slots soon now.
So we know for next year that May and June. But
I'm actually thinking
Okay.
about either getting some interviews or maybe hiring someone for 1 day a week.
Okay, so I've upgraded.
Doing the interview.
I think I've upgraded Vagrant.
Because it's taking up like
it's more of a sales.
VirtualBox VM is already okay.
but it's getting, I mean,
Vagrant
easily
SSH.
well, if you include talking with potential students, 60%
Oh, okay.
of my time is taken up.
Is that what I think.
Which means that like I've only got 20% of my time, just 1 day a week.
I don't know.
to actually do it. I've got back in there. I don't know.
Vagrant destroy.
But the
Vagrant.
thing is, if we
Oh.
want to start creating more value and grow, we'll have
So it seems like I can still use the Precise 32 box, although.
said that any company that's growing, money is a limiting
Hmm.
factor. Money is everything.
So are you still broadcasting? I guess you are.
I am, yeah.
I guess I should start a new one for the open pairing session.
Oh, awesome. I'll leave the office just to get cloudy.
Um,
God knows. God knows. Wait, Jordan, get ready to leave. Quick, get the clouds up.
Another one, I think we need probably to get somebody like Robert Sperling.
okay. Yeah, I guess I'll go and create a new hangout for
That there is an interest.
the open pairing session.
Interest of getting somebody.
All right.
We have
I'll see you in a bit, maybe.
top-
Okay.
Bye for now.
Bye.